He wore the uniform with quiet dignity, a silver star pinned to his chest, a medal earned not for show, but for sacrifice. Yet on this flight, honor meant nothing. The purser approached, lips tight, voice sharp, telling him he didn't belong in first class. Whispers rippled through the cabin as eyes turned, some judging, some sympathetic. Humiliation burned hotter than any battlefield fire. Was this just a mistake, or something darker? In 3 minutes, the truth would explode. Watch until the end to see what happened. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. For James Carter, a decorated combat veteran, flights were usually moments of calm, a chance to rest his body that still carried scars from war. He wasn't flashy. He never asked for recognition. Today's flight was routine. Board, sit quietly in his assigned seat, and try to forget the weight of memories. First class wasn't luxury for him. It was comfort for aching knees and a bad back earned on the battlefield. He'd been upgraded by the airline as a courtesy, one slight nod to his service. As passengers settled in, James adjusted his uniform, jacket, feeling the familiar pride of representing those who couldn't come home. What he didn't know was that this flight would strip him of dignity in front of strangers and force another man of even higher rank to remind the world what respect really means. The purser moved through the aisle with the authority of someone who believed the cabin belonged to them alone. Her eyes locked on James, pausing at his uniform. She frowned, leaning in. With a sharp tone, she demanded to see his ticket. He handed it over calmly. Seat 2A, printed clearly. But her expression hardened. "This isn't your seat," she muttered, loud enough for surrounding passengers to hear. Murmurs spread. James tried to explain that it was an upgrade, but she cut him off. "You'll need to move to the back. Now." The humiliation was instant. Passengers looked away, some with discomfort, while others regarded the scene with quiet judgment. James's chest tightened. He thought of the years he had bled for his country, the brothers he had lost. And yet here he was, treated like an intruder in a place he had earned. Reluctantly, he stood, his uniform pressed but his dignity unraveling, and began walking toward the coach. A few passengers whispered words of protest, but the purser silenced them with a glare. 3 minutes had passed, 3 long minutes of public shame. James sat down in the cramped row, heart pounding, anger mixing with sadness. Then, suddenly, the cabin shifted. From the rear, a tall man in civilian clothes, yet carrying unmistakable authority, rose. His voice carried calm but firm, cutting through the silence. The atmosphere thickened as passengers realized who he was, a 4-star general. What happened next would change the entire tone of the flight. The general strode forward, his presence commanding the room without a single shout. Passengers straightened instinctively, sensing they were witnessing something extraordinary. He stopped in front of the purser, eyes unflinching. Slowly, he pulled out his identification, clear proof of his rank. "This man," he said, motioning to James, "is a Silver Star veteran. He has earned every inch of that seat, more than anyone here could imagine." Gasps rippled. The purser froze, her authority crumbling under the weight of truth. For the first time, her voice faltered. But the general wasn't done. He placed a steady hand on James's shoulder and guided him back toward first class. The cabin erupted in applause, but for James the moment was heavier, respect restored, but scars deepened by what it took to get there. James sat once more in 2A, but the applause ringing in his ears wasn't enough to erase the sting of being stripped of dignity. The general's intervention had restored justice in the moment, but it also revealed a deeper wound. How could a man decorated with one of the nation's highest honors still face humiliation because of the color of his skin? For passengers, that Day. The lesson was unforgettable. Respect is not optional. It should never require rank, medals, or intervention to be recognized. Racism may wear many faces, even the polished uniform of airline staff, but it is always the same poison. The question remains, how many more James Carters must endure this before the world truly changes? Where are you watching from? What country? What city? Take care